Narcissism is a personality type that does not just appear in advice columns. Instead, it's a collection of characteristics that psychologists have categorized and analyzed. An exaggerated, grandiose view of oneself is the psychological definition of narcissism. To varying degrees, narcissists believe they are more important, attractive, and wiser than others, and should receive exceptional care. Hello, and welcome to the Connected Minds podcast. Today, we will discuss the psychology of narcissism and how it comes to be. Grandiose and vulnerable narcissism are two types of narcissism that psychologists classify as personality traits. The most well-known type of narcissism is grandiose, characterized by extroversion, domination, and attention-seeking. Grandiose narcissists, who occasionally hold positions of authority in politics, show business, or the arts, seek attention and power. Of course, not all people who seek these powerful positions are narcissists. Many individuals do it for good reasons, such as realizing their full potential or improving the lives of others. However, narcissistic people seek power for the status and attention it brings. Narcissists who are weak might be reserved and silent. Although they are easily intimidated or offended, they strongly feel entitled. In any scenario, narcissism's negative side manifests over time. Narcissistic couples may be dishonest or disloyal, and narcissistic leaders may make dangerous or immoral judgments due to their propensity for acting selfishly. When their positive self-image is questioned, they may become angry and hostile. But like an illness, those who have it feel pretty well, while those around them have symptoms. When taken too far, this conduct is categorized as a narcissistic personality disorder, a psychiatric condition. 1 to 2% of people, primarily men, are affected by it. Additionally, only adults can receive this diagnosis. Although it can be shared for young individuals, especially kids, to be excessively egocentric, this behavior can be a natural growth stage. The Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders, 5th edition by the American Psychiatric Association, describes several characteristics linked to narcissistic personality disorder. Some of them include a glorious vision of oneself, issues with empathy, a feeling of entitlement, and a need for adoration or attention. The fact that these characteristics dominate people's lives and result in serious issues makes them actual personality disorders. Imagine it instead of taking care of your partner or kids, you only utilize them as a means of attracting admiration or attention. There are many different ways to use the word narcissism. According to the psychodynamic viewpoint, narcissism is a defensive mechanism to prevent the ego from being damaged by outside stimuli. According to the psychodynamic theory of narcissism, narcissistic conduct is a protective response to a person's poor self-esteem, fear of rejection, and fear of failing. As a result, narcissistic people believe they are exceptional even when they are not. As a result, they are self-assured and competent. A person's narcissism results from concentrating on their needs and wants. In his early research, Freud discovered that individuals with narcissistic personality disorders placed excessive value on themselves, which led to the development of the psychodynamic viewpoint on narcissism. Narcissistic traits can be caused by several factors, including genetics, social environment, and parenting. The first factor is genetics. Studies have shown that people with narcissistic traits are likelier to have family members with narcissistic characteristics than those who don't. This is because the genes of those with narcissistic traits are more likely to be passed down to their children. The second factor is the social environment. People who grow up in an environment that rewards narcissism are more likely to develop these traits because they're rewarded for them. For example, if parents reward their children for being the center of attention at all times, they will continue this behavior when they grow up, and it will become a habit. The third factor is parenting style. Parents who make their child's happiness the most important. Narcissistic traits are not mental disorders, but rather personality traits. No specific cause can be pointed to and said to be the root of narcissistic traits. However, some studies have shown that narcissistic personality disorder may be caused by an imbalance in brain chemicals or genes. A person with narcissistic traits will often want to be the center of attention and need constant praise and admiration from those around them. They also tend to have a sense of entitlement and superiority, believing themselves to be better than others in every way possible. This can make them very demanding in their relationships with others, as they feel they deserve everything they ask for without question. Social media has recently increased opportunities for self-promotion, but it's important to note that there isn't any conclusive proof that social media leads to narcissism. Instead, it gives narcissists a way to get attention and social standing. So, are there any ways narcissists can get over such flaws? Yes, anything that encourages open discussion about one's conduct and consideration for others, such as counseling or acting compassionately toward others, might be beneficial. The problem is that it might be difficult for someone with narcissistic traits to continue focusing on improving themselves. Self-reflection is challenging for narcissists from an unfavorable perspective. If you are aware that your partner is a narcissist, you may change the dynamic of your relationship and challenge them to modify the way they see you and your union. For example, it is feasible to alter your appearance and that of your partner and lessen some negative repercussions of narcissistic behavior. When you become aware of your narcissism, you may shift from self-esteem to self-compassion. This entails being kind to oneself rather than comparing yourself to others. You can lessen your demand for praise and recognition if you stop attempting to compare yourself to others. Thank you for listening to today's episode. Take care.